What's going on, everyone? Jared here with another review. Today we're looking at the Mezco Toys Snake Eyes. So we're going to start off the articulation, and then I'm going to pass it over to Phil, and he'll talk about the look and design. Starting with the head, we do get there's a double ball peg up at the top and at the bottom, so you get a pretty good amount of range there. He's going to look up about that far. Look down about that far. His neck gets a little stuck here. You gotta finagle it a little bit, but he looks down pretty well. Shoulders, you get lovely range out of the shoulders. They used, Phil and I were just talking about this, the fabric they used, perfect. It's not gonna like chip too much. Maybe this, you'll see some in the future, but overall it should be pretty good. You get a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, a little better than 90 there. You get a classic ball peg wrist, so it can go about any way you need. Going to the torso, you can move about that far back, that far forward. Going down to the legs. I want to make sure nothing broke there. That sounded terrible, but you know what I think it was? I think his ab crunch was stuck. Ah, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so that's what it was. Well, there we go. That's nice. God. I know, Mezco's going to give me a heart attack. You're not going to get a ton of split here, but you get a decent amount. Not bad. You can go about this far up, this far back. Going down to the knees, double jointed. You're going to get a pretty decent amount of range, even with all the stuff on there. And the favorite part of any Mezco segment, let's talk about the ankles. And actually, they're not bad. There's a little bit of movement in there. It could be better. But you know what? That's almost like a 20-degree angle. That's pretty good for Mezco. Up? No. There's no going up. Back? Barely. Is it the best we've seen? No. Is it the worst? Far from it. So, I forgot about the dog. What is that dog doing? Yeah, he's all fully articulated, so I guess I should go through him too, huh? Looking up, you have like, there's like a hinge in here and a ball peg up here. Double ball peg. You can look like that far up. You can look that far down. Not a ton of movement, but, well, I say not a ton of movement. Okay, here's one thing I don't like. This pops apart so easily. I would have almost rather this been a static piece than it popped apart so easily. But you can move it when it doesn't fall out. You can go up, go down. Tails on a hinge. No, peg. So we can swing around. I thought it was on a hinge. I guess not. That's okay. I can swing around. Going down to the front paws. Yeah. Front limbs. I don't know. Legs? It's just a ball peg. So, and then he's got hinges here and hinges for his fronts. So you can get in some like low poses. I kind of hate these front paws. They just look so weird, man. I don't know. I feel like these need to hinge out. So I wish this hinged out some more so we can get into like a really low pose. Because that's about as far splayed out as he can. And if you're thinking of like a really ferocious dog, you think about it really splayed down, growling at someone, you know. Legs, another ball peg here. Hinge here, and another hinge back here. This one I think looks a lot better. I do think the articulation here, they could have just made this a statue. Damn it. They could have just made this a statue, but they did go the extra mile in an articulation. Is it perfect articulation? No. Is it pretty good? Yeah, I'll give it pretty good. So that's what the dog's doing. So I'm going to pass it over to Phil, and he's going to talk about the look and design.
All right, you guys, Philip here with the look and design and the accessory segments, and boy howdy am I going to be excited for this one, because every once in a while Mezco makes a figure that just gets me really excited. The Snake Eyes is one of those figures, and so far I gotta be honest too, their G.I. Joe lineup seems to be heading into that direction, so I'm very happy that G.I. Joe between Hasbro and now Mezco is just getting the love that they kind of deserve, because they're fun figures to make, and you could see why. The amount of spread of accessories and the designs you can do with them, there's just unlimited amount of resources there. So let's go ahead and talk about the look and design. Love the suit they used with Snake Eyes. Excellent choice here. I would have liked that this would have been like a little more, you know, instead of like all constantly falling down, stuff like that. I wish it was just kind of static and holding there. But other than that, like, his armor and everything looks really good. You got places for him to put the sword right here and right here, the belt, all of his accessories. What would have been also really cool too is if these grenades would have came off too. That would have been pretty cool, a little bit icing on the cake. But other than that, it's just really good. The design quality here is very good. The fabric that they used for his suit feels like an actual like military-esque suit, and it's really good and it's well done too. Like even the black, I guess you'd say maybe like they would be leathery pieces. They kind of stand out. They're really nice and shiny here. So really good stuff, even all the way down to like his boots. You can see the extra shine there and stuff like that. So looking design, pretty much a home run for Snake Eyes. Now, looking design for Timber, Jared kind of hit it earlier too. I think this definitely should have been a static piece. And I don't know why, but it looks like to Timber, Mezco just kept saying like, hey, how can we make this thing, in their view, better? We'll just add more hinges. We'll put a ball joint here, we'll put a cut here, we'll put a cut here. And it just, I think they overcomplicated the dog a little too much. That's just my opinion. You guys can let me know in the comments section. That's just the one place that I think they overcomplicated too. Jared also mentioned something else, and I want you guys to comment on this as well. Would you have paid $90 for just Snake Eyes if they removed Timber? I think that's a fair deal, because this thing is about 112-ish MSRP running. But if they took out Timber and this was 90 bucks, would you still pay it? If it was 95, would you still pay it? I think most people would without Timber, because again, I think they overcomplicated Timber, and I think, honestly, I think Classified made a better Timber. Yeah, I don't know. Not a fan of it. Speaking of Timber, we'll go ahead and go over his accessories, because he gets alternative heads. Now, I will say this is really good sculpt, and it's really good paint job. I love, like, you can see actual gums and stuff like that. So definitely good. Definitely looks like a ferocious dog. Like, really just well done stuff there. So pretty good for Timber there, as far as the alternative heads, not the dog itself. That left to be desired. Accessories for Snake Eyes. Woo! Boy, where do we even start? Well, let's go over the hands. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different sets of hands. Of course, he has the 2 fists that come with him already, so 8 sets total. This is fantastic work by Mezco. This is something we have seen them do before, and to do more of, excuse me. They've done more of this, where they're just putting in like all these different poses of hands. They did it with Doom. Now we got Snake Eyes. They did it with Spider-Man. So I love that we're getting all of these really cool sets of hands. It's really good stuff there. But where this figure really, really shines are these accessories, the weapons, man. This is why I said G.I. Joe is fun, because, I mean, look at that. First off, that's his first sword he gets, and I like that they actually added 2 different sheets. And yes, they do clip on his back pretty easily. You gotta kind of like finagle it, or you can do it like this. You can slide it like down like that, and it holds really, really well. So really good there, and it's pretty easy to do that with, and you can do it with both of them. So that's sword number 1. All right, so here's the second sword. And the only issue I had here is more of a quality control issue. You guys can see this thing is warped, and it came like that. So I've been keeping it in its sheath, hoping that it straightens it out. I may have to run it in some hot water and kind of bend it back into place a little bit more. So hopefully that comes out. But again, that's nothing too bad. Where this thing ultimately shines as far as effects goes, I mean, this is perfect for Mezco right here. We've seen them do a lot of this lately. Mezco, keep doing this, man. This is just excellent. I always said, anybody with like a mutant abilities or anything that has throwing effects or anything like that, always warp it into the hand itself and then make the effects come out this way. And I mean, they clearly have listened to the community, because we've all been clamoring for this, and they clearly have listened, and I love it that they've been doing it. So that's an excellent throwing of the star. How about this one too? Throwing of the grenade. Didn't know I would actually like this one or want this one, but I love it. Absolutely love it. We also get other accessories, more just pretty much standard stuff for Snake Eyes, more knives. I'll give you some of the other, here's other 2 dual blades as well. And then, of course, he wouldn't be Snake Eyes without his gun. Here's one gun, and I actually like that the butt of the gun actually retracts out like that, so you can get it in different ways. It kind of just goes on and off. And, to my surprise, too, the clip actually comes out, and actually you can see the bullet right there. So pretty good stuff. And we do get alternative clips. So I really like that. No alternative heads, they made up for it. And then we also get a silencer for the gun as well. That fits right in pretty easily. And of course, more effects. How about a bullet leaving the case? I love this from Mezco. I mean, look how cool that looks, guys. Freaking love it. So this is all just excellent work here. And then of course, last but not least, I kept these in here because they were very small pieces. Did not want to lose them. So we get a bunch of throwing stars, throwing knives, little grenades. This is where I said the grenades should have came off on here, because we get all of these grenades right here. How good it would have been just to clip them on and off yourself. And then of course we get some nunchucks. So overall, this is just excellent work from Mezco. Just beautiful set of accessories. And this is just a fun figure. Oh, almost forgot. We actually do get one more accessory. It's actually already on him. We actually get the gun. Little side piece. And guess what else comes out? Yep, you guessed it. Clip. Excellent. We're now going to move over to the final verdict where Jared and I are going to grade this beautiful Snake Eyes on a scale of 1 through 100. Alrighty guys, Philip and Jared here with the final verdict for the Mezco Snake Eyes. I'm excited to get into this one, Jared. All right, go ahead and kick us off with box presentation.
Absolutely, Phil. So the box, we do kind of have some gripes with Mezcos, usually. But
yeah,
it was nice to see some artwork on the front, and on the back it shows off accessories and what the figure actually looks like.
Yes.
So a lot of the times the criticism we give Mezco is like, if you pick this up at like a comic book store, if you didn't know about Mezco, you'd have no idea what it is. But yep, here you do. So we gave it a 16 out of 20.
Absolutely, and I'm glad to see that they finally put, everything of the figure on the back finally. Just at least do that. You got to do one or the other, Mezco. So I'm glad that they're doing that. Next up was your other segment, Jared, was articulation. Go ahead and talk to us.
Absolutely. Articulation for a Mezco figure here, it's pretty good. I mean, he's going to do most of the poses Snake Eyes needs to do. Obviously, there's some limitations with the cloth goods and everything.
Yeah.
But overall, he got a 16 out of 20 for his articulation, and we kind of lumped Timbers in there too. We're not going to rank Timber on his own, but we'll incorporate him into like the value.
The value of it, yeah. I think that's fair to say.
Exactly.
Next up was my segment, which was look and design. We gave it a solid 20 out of 20. I don't know what else you would want the Snake Eyes to do, look like, or anything else like that. I mean, this is a perfect design for Snake Eyes.
There's really not much better they can do.
The proportions are right. The design of the suit is right. The material they use is right. Everything on here is designed perfectly. We don't have a lot of gripes with the design. Like, there's nothing like hindering any motions or anything, especially with all the stuff that he has on him. So just really good design here by Mezco. So I really just am in love with this design of the Snake Eyes, and it's really just it's perfect. It's a 20 out of 20. So yeah. Next up was accessories. I mean, I'm laughing already because it's a solid 20 out of 20, guys. I mean, what else would you have wanted? I can't think of one thing anybody buying this figure would be like, oh, I wish it came with this.
Maybe.
You can't even say alternative head.
Maybe an alternative head, but that's stretching it.
I don't know how you could even say that because it's Snake Eyes. He only has one face. It's just true. I mean,
like I said, that's stretching.
Yeah, that's stretching it. I mean, maybe another gun. Like, what else would you want? A sniper? A shotgun?
He can have more weapons.
An assault rifle?
Don't get me wrong. There could be more weapons, but he comes with so much already. I'm perfectly.
Yeah, I'm okay with this. 20. Exactly, especially for, which leads into our next segment, the price you pay for. MSRP on this Snake Eyes, Jared, was $112. And again, we're not getting just one, but we're getting two figures here.
Yeah,
when you factor in Timber. So if you were to break it down the way Jared and I thought about this, we said, okay, would you pay $90 for the Snake Eyes, for this Snake Eyes, with all of his accessories, minus Timber, would you pay $90 for this? We both looked at each other and said, yeah, absolutely. So does that mean we're saying then Timber, with his two alternative heads, that's $22? Yeah, that's kind of fair.
Yeah.
So, which is why for price, we gave it a score of 18 out of 20. And our final score, Jared, was what?
90.
That's right. And if you guys know how we grade these on a curve, anything that is a 90 or above, we think it's a must-have figure. And Jared, yes or no, is this a definitive Snake Eyes?
Yeah, it's It's pretty easy to say yes.
Yes.
It's definitely definitive Snake Eyes.
Absolutely. It comes with everything you want for Snake Eyes. It comes with timber.
Yep.
Again, if you want more guns and more weapons, I can understand why you would say that. Go buy some more. There's plenty out there that you guys can...
Mezco even makes accessories.
Exactly. There you go. So, I mean, for all the things considering, like, if you really want it, if you're really like, man, I want more weapons, go buy some, you know?
Yeah.
Problem solved. Do we advocate for spending more money? No, which is why we think that this thing gets a 90 on its own. I think what it comes with is just enough. Will scratch that itch for you, so to speak, and you'll have a fun time messing around with the Snake Eyes. He's a fantastic figure.
Absolutely.
So hopefully that's good enough for you guys. Comment down below if you guys agree with our score, that we think that this is a definitive Snake Eyes, and B, this is a 90, which means we think this is a must-have figure. Is this your definitive Snake Eyes? Comment down below. That's going to do it for this review. Don't forget, guys, hit that like button if you're new. Consider hitting that subscribe button. And hey, if you want to save yourself 10% over on Entertainment Earth and this Snake Eyes is in stock, use Jared's affiliate link in the description box. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Catch you guys next time.